First of all, I'd like you to give us a brief introduction about yourself.
All right. My name is Alhaji Yahaya Bello, popularly referred to as Fear Plus. I was born on 18th June 1975. I hail from Akasa in Kogi local government of Kogi State, Kogi Central Senatorial District to be specific. I started my primary school, my educational career from Local Government Education Authority, we call it LGEA, there in Akasa. And I completed my primary education in 1989. My secondary school, 1990. And finished the GSS Suleja in 1994. I had my A-level IGM International Polytechnic Zaria. We usually refer to it as UPE. There I had enough points that qualified me to be admitted into Alhaji Bello University Zaria, and I read accounting. I had my BSc accounting, and then that was 1999 to 2000. Then I served in Abuja here, the Revenue Mobilization Allocation Officer Commission, 1990s to 91. 2000 to 2001. And because of my hard working and my contribution towards the realization of the Commission's aims and objectives, I was retained as Revenue Officer. Thereafter, I was converted and posted to my General Office to head the Accounts and Finance Department in that same 2001. And in that capacity, I served until this year. Later, I was posted to Abuja here in the headquarters, and I served in the Federation Account Allocation Committee. It's a unit under Allocation Department in the Revenue Mobilization Allocation Corporation, where I resigned this year and I joined politics. Yeah. So all in all, I served for 50 years. Yeah.
At what capacity did you resign?
I resigned as Assistant Chief Accountant. Yeah. Yeah. Today, the good people of Kogi State, both the old, the young, men and women, including the gods, the witches and the wizards of Kogi State, are aware of the deplorable state of Kogi because of maladministration. So our people and the state are backward. We have been suffering from administrative hemorrhage. And I decided to join politics and contest for governorship to save, or put in a better way, to rescue, restore, and rebuild the state. That is why I am in it. Our manifesto, our blueprint, so to speak, touches the very major aspect of life in our state there. First of all, education. Education is a right of every Kogite, not a privilege. Before I continue on this, I would like to add that before I get to the level I am today, aside the glory of God and destiny, then in Kwara State, before Kogi State was created, we had good and sound educational policy. And as such, I particularly had a very good, sound educational background. And somebody like me that come from a very poor background, and I was able to have good educational background that propelled me to the level I am today. If the situation as it is today was what I found myself in then, I would have had the opportunity to be where I am today. And as such, from the community I am coming from where I come from that has been bastardized, I want to give back to them. So I restore the educational sector of the state. We will ensure that every school is quite renovated and new ones built to international standard. Educational facilities, teachers are trained and retrained. And the pupils are having free meal in the school. We will ensure there is partial and full scholarship. Full scholarship for our science students, partial scholarship for our social science and the arts students at tertiary level. We will go into the human capital development. That is, when we look at our civil service today, nobody will be proud to be a civil servant in that state. One, salaries are not paid. There's redundancy. We will ensure that civil servant is trained and they will render a better service to the state. We go into infrastructural development. You look at our roads. The roads within the state, even at the state capital, in front of government house, you see a crater in front of government house. The state roads and even local government roads have been left in the hands of well-wishers. You go to the portion of your road, some fill it, and then people go on it. You buy a new car today, tomorrow it's breakdown because of the bad state of the road. So, infrastructurally, we are going to go into it. We will go into urban renewal program, whereby what we have today is not measuring up to the standard, the world standard. We will make sure that it's taken care of seriously. These are all briefs given to you. Look at the agricultural sector, our vast land. We're not going to leave it alone. We have very fertile and arable lands. We will make sure that is quite revamped. Our solid mineral, we will make sure we partner with the federal government and private investors. Here you have a Jakarta, you have a lot of other solid minerals. The iron ore, etc. We will have a lot of limestone, gypsum, and what have you. We will make sure we remove foreign investors and indigenous ones. Partner with federal government to ensure that we explore it in order to boost our intermediate revenue. So that is going to be looked into seriously. Health sector. In my administration, by the special grace of God, we will ensure that no woman will die as a result of giving birth to a child, and no child will die as a result of coming into this world. So our health sector will be revamped. The primary health care at the rural level will be taken care of seriously. We looked into, we'll make sure there's enough dispensary, enough personnel to handle that, and we will look into building an internationally recognized referral hospital, whereby our government officials wouldn't have to fly abroad again. We waste our hard-earned money, and at the same time, we don't have the kind of health care we want. So that will be looked into seriously. Thank you. Let me put it this way. I'll first of all lay this preamble that first of all, our state is too rich to be poor. That is number one. Kogi State is too rich to be poor.
That's the heading.
That is one. Two, a lazy man should not complain of hunger. A lazy man, not necessarily lazy in body, but if you're lazy in your thinking faculty, they don't complain about those that are ready to make use of his brain to turn things around. I don't think Kogi State is poor. We shouldn't be complaining of no money, no money, no money. Not to talk of owing salary. Does it mean if there's no oil today, Kogi will cease to exist? Kogi should take the forefront in terms of riches. One, let me take it from the way it is today, from what is happening currently. That the state government comes to Abuja every month to take allocation from fiducian account. First of all, from that quantum that is being received, however meager it is, if we tackle corruption appropriately, it will go a long way. First, if we avoid wastages, government wastages, we will save enough. Two, if we plug all the loopholes,
You mean leakages?
leakages, there's no leakage in the system. What we are having now will go a long way. If we are prudent, these are all different, terms. If we are prudent in the management of the resources, it will go a long way. If we prioritize properly, what we are receiving now will go a long way. Aside all this, let us look inward and see what we can do to generate enough revenue to optimize what we are having today. One, what are the sources of revenue do we have today? Is it maximally tapped? Is it maximally tapped? Is there enough legislation to ensure that we look inward and see more areas that are going to generate more revenue? The personnel, staff, or the human beings that are handling these areas, are they properly supervised? Are all that are being generated going into government coffers and not private individual pockets? Then let's look outside the areas they are tapping now and to the areas that are not being tapped properly. We have land, and we have enough personnel, and we have little resources, capital. These are all factors of the economy, of production. These are factors of production. So why are we then complaining? This land, when you look at agriculture, there's no part of our land that cannot produce anything you think of in the world. We should, without even fertilizer, we should be able to go into that properly and engage the teeny youths we have today. By generating revenue, we are creating jobs. We have to look into our natural mineral resources. There are vast mineral resources that we have today that are lying fallow or that are being tapped illegally. That both federal and state government and local government are not looking into. So, we have to look into all this. Our iron ore, we should be able to make that Ajaokuta steel rolling mill. Not Kogi State project. Not a sectional project, but a project of all, where we should be able to converse to all other state governments, apart from federal government and private investors, to partner and let's develop it. There will be enough money to be generated from there. Let me not go into details. Then you look at, you see, nobody ever knew, some few years back, nobody ever knew that there was nothing like Obajana Cement Company, Dangote Cement Company in Obajana. But an individual came in there and is cutting away our mineral resources and paying a stipend. What to review? Let us look at the terms of engagement. We review it. And proper taxation has to come out of there. We can cite so many of them, of those cement factories, in and around the state. We have gypsum, we have parts that is used to produce tires. If the state does not have enough resources to go into it, we should be able to partner with private companies, investors, to come in from within the country and outside. There's enough revenue to be tapped from there. Let me take you there. You look at tourism. The Home Party, you have the Confluence, you have so many other natural environments that we should be able to establish a very wonderful tourist center, whereby every human being all around the world will come there. They'll pay a lot of money. We'll generate a lot. Employment is there. It will thereby create security, because when you engage the youth, so I'm sorry I'm deviating a little bit. Now, look at certain wastages that we're having. Kogi State has a lot of properties that are lying fallow within the state and outside the state. Let me just mention one. We have liaison offices or government lodges all across the 36 states of the Federation. In some places we are having up to 2, and we are even building new ones. What are we using them for? Those things should be commercialized with immediate effect all across the country. If the state does not have enough capacity, what are the civil servants doing? Deploy them. Let them go to these areas. All these gigantic projects that we have all around the country, convert some of them to hotels. You either rent, commercialize, or you go into a private partnership with some of these investors that will be able to run it effectively and be remitting, some amount of money into the coffers of the government. So, these are many more. You see, let me just stop at this juncture. So, if I'm now telling you that we have no business to be poor, I mean what I'm saying. Yes. Look at the state, for instance, again. We are bordering not less than 8 states. We are at the center. Now, what can we be doing? What are the economic benefits? There should be economic benefits within the states. we should look at the comparative advantages between us and these states and see what we can do to accelerate an essence. And FCT. We can't have FCT. And we're far down there in Kogi State, nearby, and nothing is happening. We have enough land to open a modern city. Then there will be mutual benefit between FCT and Kogi State. So, these are many more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have seen the reasons why Kogi is not even poor. They can pay salaries, and these are the kind of person, young, vibrant, that the Kogi people is looking for, because the salary has always been a major problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.